Hi everyone, this is Liao Chunying. Today I will be presenting my analysis of the paper titled Efficacy of Different Presentation Modes for L2 Video Comprehension, Full versus Partial Display of Verbal and Nonverbal Input. Before diving into the topic, I'd like to start with a question. Have you ever watched a video to learn a foreign language? I bet most people will say yes. Now, imagine a girl watching a Korean drama to learn Korean. First, she definitely won't forget to check out the actor's hot body, then reply the shower scene about 10 times. Next, she's going to watch the romantic scenes, especially the kissing ones, at least 30 times. Finally, she can't help but flash a satisfied smile. But after all the fun, she realizes that she's forgotten the whole point of watching the video in the first place, learning Korean. This example shows us that there are just too many distractions in videos, and language learners' attention can easily wander. This common experience highlights the challenges that second language learners face when processing video content. Let's start with an overview of what we will cover. This presentation starts with the introduction and the research purposes. Next, we will cover the research questions, methodology, and results, highlighting the key findings. Finally, the discussion and conclusion will summarize the implications and contributions of this research. This research focuses on understanding how different modes of presenting information in videos affect second language learners' comprehension. Additionally, this research aims to examine how reducing information in videos, whether through captions or visual content, affects L2 learners' comprehension. By simplifying the content, we aim to understand if it helps to learners to focus better and grasp the material more effectively. This study highlights strategies for optimizing video-based language learning. Let's now move on to research questions. The first research question of this study is, does reducing verbal information through different caption modes, such as full or partial captions, impact L2 learners' comprehension of videos? The second research question is, does reducing nonverbal information through different pictorial modes, such as animation versus static keyframes, influence L2 learners' video comprehension? The third research question investigates how L2 learners perceive cognitive load when exposed to different types of verbal support and pictorial content. To understand this study, we turn to Mayer's cognitive theory of multimedia learning. Mayer explains that learners process information through two separate channels: the auditory channel for spoken words, music, and sounds, and the visual channel for images, words, and animations. Each channel has a limited capacity, meaning learners can only process a few pieces of information at a time. Learning is an active process of filtering, selecting, organizing, and integrating new information with prior knowledge. By considering these principles, we can create multimedia content that help optimize learners' cognitive capacity. In this study, 62 L2 learners were randomly assigned to one of four groups. Group 1, 4 captions with animation. Group 2, 4 captions with static keyframes. Group 3, partial captions with animation. And Group 4, partial captions with static keyframes. After viewing the videos, participants completed comprehension tests and cognitive load questionnaires to assess their understanding and perceived difficulty. When selecting the video for this study, three key criteria were considered. First, familiar topic. Second, inferential focus. Third, Language match. Two types of caption modes were used: full captions and partial captions. Partial captions only show key phrases, reducing cognitive load and encouraging inference. The experiment included a cognitive load questionnaire to assess the mental effort experienced by learners under different conditions. The questionnaire measured three types of cognitive load: intrinsic load, extraneous load, and German load. The results of the experiment revealed that full captions combined with static keyframes led to the highest comprehension scores. In contrast, full captions with animation resulted in the lowest scores. Additionally, videos with static keyframes generally performed better than those with animation, indicating that more stable visual content helped learners focus better on the material. In terms of global and local comprehension, the best results were achieved by full caption combined with static keyframes, suggesting that this combination helped learners understand both the overall content and specific details. However, for inferential comprehension, where learners needed to make inferences, partial captions with static keyframes were the most effective, encouraging learners to engage more deeply with the material. The results of the cognitive load questionnaire show that participants in the animation condition felt overwhelmed because everything happened too fast. The quick and brief visuals made it harder for learners to process both the words and the images at the same time. Static keyframes also help learners focus better on the captions, which encouraged deeper understanding and required more effort to process the material. So, what does this mean? Static keyframes improve overall comprehension by helping learners focus better on the material. When paired with full captions, they also enhance local comprehension, making it easier to extract details. However, animations can distract learners due to their fast-changing and brief visual elements, making it harder to maintain attention. Now, let's move on to the conclusion. One limitation of the study is that it focused only on animation and static keyframes, so the finding may not apply to other types of visual content. Additionally, real-life videos or bilingual subtitles could affect attention and processing in different ways, which was not explored in this study. Building on that, multimedia learning involves complex mental processes. To help students manage cognitive load and achieve the best learning outcomes, it's important to tailor multimedia materials to specific learning objectives. This ensures that the content is not overwhelming and supports effective learning. As language teachers, it's important to consider how we present content to our students. Keyframe videos with full captions are great for overall comprehension and detail extraction, making them especially useful in remedial courses and with slow-paced content like TED Talks. These videos help students focus on both the big picture and the details, supporting them learning process effectively. In addition, partial captions with keyframes help students making guesses and fill gaps. This approach builds critical thinking skills while keeping the challenge manageable. To conclude, this study shows how different presentation modes impact L2 video comprehension. As educators, it reminds us of the importance of creating multimedia materials that consider students' cognitive limits. This approach helps design more effective learning experiences, making it easier for students to overcome the challenges of learning a new language. Thank you for your attention. I hope this report has provided you with some teaching insights.